Today, I'm going to tell you how much money I had to set aside for my pregnancy to cover all the medical expenses leading up to the delivery and on the day of the delivery. See, this is one important part of planning a baby, and I think it is also the most neglected one. See, once you have a good idea about what you will be spending on or how much you will be spending, then none of these expenses should come as a surprise to you when you're pregnant. Plus, a lot of these expenses will be covered by your insurance. And later in this video, I will also talk about the expenses on stem cell banking. So with that, let's dive right into today's video. Hello, Namaste. Welcome to my channel Mama Knows Best. For my new viewers, I am Dhruti and I am a first time mom to an adorable 6-month-old daughter, Miraya. And on this channel, I talk about what to expect during your pregnancy and the best practices of baby care like massaging, bathing, and so on. Childbirth, above all, is a medical procedure and it can be expensive. Now, we can roughly split these into two parts: expenses during the 3 trimesters, like on scans, medicines, etc., and the delivery day expenses. Of course, there will be many more expenses after the baby is born, like on clothing, toys, baby products, schooling, and so many things. And I will cover all of that in separate videos. Now, before we start, just a little bit about myself. I live in Mumbai suburbs and I chose a senior doctor, an obstetrician at a super specialty hospital. See, I am telling you this because your expenses will vary based on where you are and which hospital you go to. Plus, we are talking about the normal, that is the full term vaginal delivery here, which I think is the most common one, like 80 to 90% of the time, and I feel that is what you should aim for too. But you should also keep a buffer of 30 to 50% over the expenses of a normal delivery in case there are any complications like a premature birth or C-section. Okay? So let's first look at the expenses that will be occurring during the first 3 trimesters. Now, during this entire 9-month process, you need to regularly visit your doctor, say like a dozen times. So, assuming 1000 rupees per visit, ballpark 10,000 rupees. Now, other than your gynecologist, you may have to see doctors from other specialties like an endocrinologist for any hormonal fluctuations, or an orthopedic if you have a backache or something like that, or just a general physician. So all in all, I am assuming 15 to 20,000 rupees in OPD consultation charges alone. Again, this is all in Mumbai, assuming 1000 rupees per visit. The next big expense is the ultrasound scans, commonly called sonography. Now, this scan is used to create an image of your baby similar to X-rays, but unlike X-rays which are harmful to the baby, a sonography uses sound waves to scan your tummy, and it is very safe. These sound waves basically just create a picture of your baby inside the uterus, like your womb, and your doctor will check on your baby's health and development. See, so sonography has to be done like a minimum of 4 times, but mine was done like 5 times, at 6 weeks, then at 12 weeks, then 20 weeks, 27 weeks, and again at 38 weeks. So it is really up to your doctor, as this is their main investigation tool to check on your baby. See, this is just an inside view of your tummy, and it will not only show the growth of the baby and detect any defects, but also estimate your baby's weight. And obviously, then you can take corrective measures. It can even show you your baby's cute little face. Now, if your hospital is a multi-speciality hospital, then they will have an in-house neonatal radiologist. This is a doctor who specializes in the sonographies of babies. Now, each scan cost me around 3 to 4,000 rupees done by this specialist. So, if there are any like 3 to 5 scans that we are talking about, then around 15,000 rupees minimum. So now after sonography, let's look at the blood tests. See, this is not that big an expense because blood tests are conducted minimum twice. once at the start of your pregnancy and then around the beginning of the third trimester. There are many tests like a complete blood count to check for your hemoglobin or if there are any infections present, or there could be the blood sugar test, then your thyroid test, hepatitis, HIV. There are so many of them. Corona. Obviously, now there is this corona test for both you and your partner, maybe as well. In general, these tests are done when you visit your doctor for the very first time. Now, expect to spend around 10,000 rupees for all the regular tests. Plus, I had to spend 10,000 rupees for the corona test, including my husband's as well. Nowadays, these corona tests are quite cheap, around 1,000 rupees or so. So, you can do these tests in the hospital itself or you can go to any private lab. It took me around 3 to 4 days to get the results. Now, some of these blood tests, like I stated, are repeated at the beginning of your third trimester. So, all in all, you may end up spending around 15 to 20,000 rupees on this throughout your pregnancy. Then the next expense is the medicines or dietary supplements. See, you need to take medicines to improve some health parameters. You may require iron, folic acid, calcium, vitamin D. Now, some of these are slightly expensive, especially the vitamin D. Now, it cost me around 60 rupees per bottle, so 40 such bottles, so roughly 2,500 rupees. Then, like I said, you will require iron, folic acid, calcium. So, I ended up spending 8 to 10,000 rupees on medicines throughout the 40 weeks period. After all this, there is the big balloon of delivery day expenses. For a normal delivery and a hospital stay of 3 to 5 days, total expense for me was around 1,50,000. Now again, this is in Mumbai at a super specialty hospital for a private room. Now depending on your room, all your charges are variable. Okay, I mean if you upgrade your room class, you not only pay more for your room, but all other charges also go up, like your gynecologist visit charges go up, the delivery room charge goes up, pediatrician charges go up, and in case if it's a cesarean section, then the expenses may increase further by 50,000 rupees. Now, this is basically the operation theatre charges, plus all the consumables and drugs are also included in this. Now, a quick word of the wise here. Keep the baby expense bill separate. Your hospital is going to charge for the baby and the mother hospitalization separately. Now, this is important from the health insurance claim perspective. I have explained this in detail in my video in maternity insurance. You can check that out to know more about how to make the most of your health insurance policies to cover all your delivery expenses. In fact, mine was a totally free delivery. Do watch my video on maternity insurance. I have put the link in the description box below. So, including the doctor's visits, the blood tests, the ultrasounds, and the actual delivery day expenses, you need to keep aside 2,50,000 rupees plus keep a buffer of 50,000 rupees. That's what I ended up spending. Again, this is all in Mumbai at a multi speciality hospital. Plus, in addition to what I talked about today, there are other expenses which you could incur as well. Example, say the test for detecting any congenital defects, or in case of a premature birth, this could lead to additional expenses like the neonatal ICU charges. See, there could always be unforeseen expenses. So, I would recommend budgeting at least 3 lakhs. Out of this, 1.5 lakh rupees will be required during the delivery day itself. Alright, so far the expenses that I talked about were all compulsory. You cannot avoid them, but there is one big expense which is optional, but I highly recommend spending on that, and that is the stem cell banking. Now, stem cell banking basically allows a parent to preserve or store their baby's stem cells present in the umbilical cord blood. Now, these must be preserved in a freezer at very low temperatures. There are many companies around the world which will provide this kind of service of cryogenics. Now, these companies like CordLife, LifeCell, BioCell, or CryoViva, you can read all about these companies online. Now, these stem cells might be used to cure many diseases in the future, but the research on the stem cells is currently ongoing and its usability is pretty limited. So, that's like what I said before, that this stem cell banking is entirely optional, but in case if you do decide to go with it, you would spend only once. Now, I personally chose a company called Cord Life, which charged me around 60,000 rupees for preserving the cord blood and the tissue both for 75 years. Alright, with that, we are at the end of this video and here are your takeaways. First, expenses for medicines, ultrasounds and blood tests right up to the delivery date may cost you around 50,000 rupees. Second, the biggest expense is the delivery day hospitalization and could cost you 1.5 lakh rupees in a city like Mumbai. Then third, keep a buffer of 50,000 rupees to 1 lakh in case of any unforeseen issues which require additional testing or a C-section or premature birth. Then do research on stem cell banks and find out how much it is costing and whether it's worth spending for you. That's it for now. I hope you found this video very informative. In my next video, I'll talk about how to make the most of your medical insurance policies and the maternity leave. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, Namaste.